Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's Trail247 back with another video. Y'all let me y'all like the little vibe I got going on now, you feel me? This is what I got going on now. But look, about to do this video on the tragic life of Young Scooter, man. We about to get into it, but y'all hit that like button, that sub button, that hype button, man. Let's get into it.
But after Scooter's initial breakthrough from 2013 to 2015, he would clearly step back from rap, and while he would still release projects, they would begin to come out with longer and longer intervals, and he would never again receive a similar mainstream solo hit like Columbia. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that Young Scooter was slowly becoming irrelevant, as his singles and music videos would still rack up millions of views, not to mention that he would still get features, or would feature on songs with his famous friends, like the 2017 song Goo Wop by Young Thug that featured Scooter, as well as Quavo and Offset from the Migos, which had a music video racking up over 150 million views.
One thing about Young Scooter, I used to listen to Goo Wop by him and shit with Young Thug and shit. I used to listen to a couple songs by him, but he just never won like the main person I was listening to out of all of them. Like I listened to like one song, it
would also
really,
help the next generation of rappers from his hood get into the industry, most notably Ralo, who is almost 10 years younger than Scooter, but would grow up close to Scooter's family and would be affiliated with both the Black Migo gang and a gang known as Fam Goon, who would operate particularly around the area known as The Bluff in northwest Atlanta, known as perhaps the most infamous drug dealing neighborhood in Atlanta.
How'd you link up with Scooter and Future?
Me and Scooter, we grew up together, know what I'm saying? His mom, Miss Betty. People don't know that his mom went with Swamp Izzo, know what I'm saying? And they had a family together. And I think that was back when Swamp was working at AutoZone. And me and Kyrie, we was best friends. That was Miss Betty's son, which is Scooter brother. And I used to be with his brother, Heavy, Kyrie. And that how me and Scooter became friends, know what I'm saying? And when he seen that I was doing music, and he was already doing music, know what I'm saying? He down there OG and me, cause I ain't number 23. So when he found out I was doing the music, he was 100% behind me, know what I'm saying? And he gave me all he got, know what I'm saying? His dudes be around him every day, but I used everything that he was able to give me to my advantage, know what I'm saying?
And that's what you supposed to do. That's what you supposed to do. But you know what's crazy? People take shit like that and then take that shit for granted and be like, damn, like, I don't give a fuck what it was. Like, even though I helped you get to the top, like, I need some of that from you and shit. Like, no, you just helped me, bro. Like, if I want to look out, that's my type of personality. But if it's not my personality, you supposed to be a grown man, maybe like, look, fuck it. I helped you get there, bro. You another black man winning. I'd be happy like that.
Clearly, Scoot was not putting a similar emphasis on his own rap career as he once was, which got some fans thinking that Young Scooter actually never stopped jugging and finessing in these streets. If that's true, Scooter might just have been one of the best trappers out of Atlanta, because besides some of his early cases, he surprisingly had very few problems with the law, as the Guardian reporter George Cheedy noted recently. Even when Ralo and his crew would go down in a 2018 drug bust that was major, many sites reported on the case, highlighting him as a Black Migo gang member. Young Scooter would seemingly skate by without any relation to this case, but if Scooter's lyrics are to be believed, he was literally running a drug empire like Pablo Escobar. Already in his early songs, Scooter would rap about how he always kept at least $60,000 in his pocket, and that was his jug money, aka his money to buy the next pack of drugs. And even back then, he would mention jugging all the way overseas to get the packs into America. And of course, being from Little Mexico, Scooter would apparently have plugs across the border too, saying how his essay made him a millionaire all the way back in 2012, when the rap money was certainly not doing that good for Young Scooter.
Back in the day, Scooter was the one had the budget.
Right.
And he the one was kind of, his dude Ty, he kind of was helping put money behind all us. Me, Scooter, and Future.
Scooter would also mention how he kept bricks of dope in every trash can in Mexico, this likely referring to the neighborhood of Little Mexico, not the entire nation of Mexico, unless. As well as saying that he was road running drugs all the way to New York. And of course, by the time Scooter was beginning to make some real money.
Damn, like, it's just like, why are you rapping about this shit in a song, bro? Like, I just don't get it. Like, if I get to the money, it don't matter how I'm getting to the money, bro. If I'm getting to the money, I'm about to go live happy, bro. I'm not gonna be rapping about selling drugs and shit. Even if that is what I'm doing, why would I be rapping about
Rap.
it?
In the dope game, he had apparently been moving metric tons and was making $1 million runs in Colombia with his plug named Hector, who he would apparently teach how to remix the coke, I assume using different cutting agents to increase the quality. And if Scooter was truly better at that than the Colombian cartels, then he definitely earned his reputation as the Jug King. But Scooter wasn't just selling drugs. He would often call himself a talking drug who had $1 million drug habit of his own, although he would also mention that the money he made from drugs was so much that it could land him on the Forbes list. So a couple $1,000s for a pint here and there would hardly hurt his pockets. But when Scooter began to slow down his musical output, if anything, his raps about jugging became more detailed, often mentioning specific numbers that his drug deals involved, showing that if Scooter hadn't become a rapper or a professional juggernaut, he could have easily become a mathematician. And when he wasn't a talking drug, he was the human calculator. In his later days, after being on a years-long jugathon, Scooter would reach a well-deserved OG status, which he would reflect on in his music, savoring the impact that he had left and the accolades that he had earned. In all seriousness though, although Scooter might not have been the most thought-provoking lyricist or the most unique rapper artistically, the type of drug dealer raps that he made very well. He had become arguably one of the most respected rappers in Atlanta, not because of his music, but because of the way that he carried himself and conducted himself around his peers and in the streets. And whether or not he was really involved in the rap game or the trap game, he was clearly a gifted businessman, which is all he ever seemed to want to be. But sadly, in 2025, his life would come to a tragic end. On March the 28th, young Scooter was celebrating his 39th birthday, reposting birthday wishes that he was getting from family, friends, and fans. But then at approximately 5:23 p.m., Atlanta police would respond to a 911 call reporting a domestic dispute on the William Nye Drive, located in the Lakewood Heights suburb in South Atlanta. The caller would report that a naked woman was beaten and dragged inside, and 7 armed men were in the house, and that she had heard 3 gunshots fired, suspecting that the house was involved in drug dealing and prostitution.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so I'm the neighborhood watch, and basically, like I said, these guys they're like selling drugs in and out of the house. All you see is guys.
Yeah, and I heard this whole video was cap. Like, she just wanted to fucking, cause she was mad because he had another bitch there or some shit, bro. Like, she literally got him killed because she was a fucking retard.
In and out of the house with guns and stuff. They holding guns in the air, and then it's like, I'm not sure if they're pimping, but it's the situation that's going on right now. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl. He literally fought the girl. I'm not sure what they was fighting over, if they was fighting over drugs. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like they were fighting over drugs. And then they started shooting. She had someone come over there, and they started shooting. But the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing illegal stuff over there, and it's disturbing the area.
How many shots were fired?
I would say 3. It was 3 shots.
Because she wasn't even in the area. This is how, like, it's like, bro, how did you know this was going on if you wasn't even there? You in a whole different area than what you calling the police from and telling them to go there, but you're not even there. So how the fuck do you know that's going on? You lying ass bitch.
When did it happen?
It's happening now.
Okay.
How is it happening now if you're not there?
The girl is hurt.
And they're coming from 273 William Nye Drive?
That's not, yes. And the girl is hurt because she was like bleeding profusely, like blood everywhere.
The fact that
it's
she
so easy to
like
become a podcaster with Riverside. You just need a concept and a way to record it.
Of course the police gonna come there and blitz.
Do you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, she's trying to get away, and they're holding her. She's being held hostage. Like, she's trying to. They brought her. The guy that was fighting her, she ran outside naked, and then he was fighting her outside. And then there was another commotion. She tried to get away. He dragged her back in the house. So now they're at the door, literally fighting. She's trying to get out. He's refusing to let her out. And it's like 7 guys in the house.
Officers arrived on the scene and knocked on the door, with a man, later confirmed as Scooter, opening and immediately shutting the door without saying a word. Not long after, while the officers were establishing a perimeter, 2 men would flee out the back. However, one would soon turn back, likely realizing that he couldn't get away. But Scooter would keep going, jumping 2 fences. But then something would happen, and Scooter would fall on the ground, suffering from a severe leg injury. Young Scooter would be taken to the Grady Memorial Hospital, but the injuries that he had suffered would prove too serious, and he would be pronounced dead.
The first being from the 2...
How the fuck do you die from a leg injury? Nah, bro. Hold on. That's how he died? I thought the police shot him or something. Whoa, this gave me a whole little spin onto this shit. I thought young Scooter died because he got shot or some shit. He died from a leg injury? Nah, it's something weird going on.
Nye Drive. In Zone 3, officers responded to a dispute with a weapon. It was advised in the call remarks that shots were fired and a female was dragged back into the location. Once officers arrived, they knocked on the door. A male opened the door and immediately shut the door on the officers. The officers then established a perimeter. During the process of establishing the perimeter, 2 males fled out of the rear of the house. 1 male returned back into the house. The other male jumped 2 fences as he was fleeing. When officers located him on the other side of the fence, he appeared to have suffered an injury to his leg. Officers rendered aid and he was transported to Grady Hospital where he was pronounced deceased.
A few hours after the incident, social media reports would begin surfacing which identified Scooter as the potential deceased. And although APD would not confirm his identity immediately, already that night, news reports and social media influencers would begin to report on Scooter's passing.
Good evening and thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Jennifer Bellamy. We are following breaking news right now in the city of Atlanta, where just minutes ago, Atlanta police held a news conference about the death of a 39-year-old man, Kenneth Bailey, also known as rapper Young Scooter.
All right, the A is on fire morning right now. The death of Young Scooter. The news just came through.
But that wasn't all, as rumors would also immediately begin to spread that he had actually been shot by the Atlanta police.
So it turns out Scooter gets shot by the police. We don't really know the details of it, but what we do know is when they did shoot him, he was transported to Grady, where later he got pronounced dead.
So Young Scooter got killed by the police tonight.
This is crazy, gang. This is some stuff like I wasn't even expecting to hear, expecting to see.
He got killed by the police.
Shot and killed by the police.
I knew he was shot, bro.
That's like so crazy, bro.
Because they tried to say.
However, the police would quickly deny these rumors, saying that Scooter had sustained an injury to his leg whilst jumping over the fences, but that the cause of death had not yet been confirmed.
Cody, you just stepped out of that briefing from police. A lot going on tonight. What have you learned?
Well, Jennifer, the main thing we want to set straight here, the lieutenant over homicide with Atlanta police saying they did not, in fact, shoot Young Scooter. They say there were no shots fired during this ordeal tonight on.
Man, they so liar ass motherfuckers. There's no way somebody fucking dies, loses their life over a leg injury. I broke my leg. I didn't die.
William Nye Drive. As he was making his way from that home, he actually jumped 2 fences. It was during one of those jumps he landed and somehow broke a leg. Some were hearing initial reports it was a femur. Again, we don't know the details of exactly the injuries. But
I broke my femur. I'm here. I broke this right here. I'm not gonna show y'all, but yeah, I can show y'all, bro. Yeah, I broke my femur, bro, in a car accident. There's no way you die from
tonight. The medical examiner says a cause and manner of death have not been confirmed.
When police were asked if the woman who had supposedly been dragged inside the house was okay, the police said that they only located 2 males at the residence and were investigating further.
Was the woman injured at all?
So we were not able to locate a female. We ended up with.
Basically, y'all thought it was a female in the house. Y'all thought she was getting beat up. So y'all charged after them, chased after them, got them, shot them, killed them. Because what? You thought he was beating a girl up that wasn't even there. Because guess what? That bitch lied. This shit is insane. He died for nothing.
2 males and the decedent.
Outside of the residence, and then a woman was drugged back into the.
That's what was reported. We have not been able to substantiate any of that, which is also a part of our investigation.
Meanwhile, Scooter's peers from the Atlanta rap scene would begin posting tributes to him, including his good friends like Future and Young Thug, as well as the younger generation like Playboi Carti and even Carti's arch nemesis Ola Runt, this being yet another example of how Scooter didn't participate in the beefs or pick sides in Atlanta politics. Surprisingly, even Rallo, who had just fallen out with Scooter due to Scooter not backing him up after Rallo was accused of snitching, would post that Scooter's death had messed him up, likely heartbroken that he hadn't been able to mend their relationship before Scooter passed. But most tragic of all would be young Scooter's son, who took to Instagram to call out the Atlanta police. Scooter's passing was both tragic and strange. How could he have died from such a freak accident, and why had the police even been called to the house in the first place? The following day, answers would begin to trickle in. Medical experts would give interviews to local news, explaining how Scooter's death due to a leg injury was rare, but possible.
Well, the femoral artery is quite large, and it could, if you broke your femur and it broke badly enough, the ends of the femur fracture could be sharp enough to cut the artery.
As for the fall,
it'd have to be a very hard fall.
Something you don't often see.
No, you don't. It's a relatively rare injury to have a femoral artery death. It's only about 10 to 15% of traumas, so it's not very high.
This wasn't convincing everyone though, and Young Thug, who had only recently been released from jail after fighting his own case against the Fulton County prosecutors, would come out with an explosive claim that an autopsy had come back saying that Scooter, aka Street, had been shot after all. However, Fulton County Medical Examiner's report would disagree with Thug's claim, stating that Scooter's injury came from the wooden fencing material, and Thug would later remove his tweet. Meanwhile, people close to Scooter would reveal that the female 911 caller had falsely claimed to be a hostage and that Scooter had actually done nothing wrong. The police would then reveal that they were now looking into the caller, who had apparently made the call from the DeKalb County, meaning that they were likely nowhere near the house, watching the offense unfold like they claimed.
Atlanta 911 operator 8715. What is the location of your emergency?
The location is 27.
The transfer.
The call was also placed from a so-called SOS phone, which was no longer on a cellular network, making identification of the caller very difficult. So they would release the 911 call to the public in the hopes that someone would recognize the caller. The following day, the caller herself would decide to go public, turning out to be a 31-year-old Demi Blanco, real name Demetria Spence, who had previously participated in the auditions of a Zeus streaming service's reality show called Baddies.
C-Dance 2.0 is now on our list, and you can get
goofy
precisely what you
bitches,
want. I'll take a robber.
You're doing too much talking. I do not mean nothing. Let me tell you. Let her just interrupt you like that?
She would go live on Instagram to give her version of the events, this time claiming that she was in fact the one who had been abused, while during the 911 call she had identified herself simply as a neighborhood watch who had seen another woman get abused.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so I'm the neighborhood watch.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only had part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. That's the issue. That's part A.
You got that man killed,
I never had any intention
You
to
got
get
that
anybody.
man killed, bitch. Stop fucking lying with your ugly ass, bro. You're not even fucking cute. You got him killed, bro. He is dead because of you. Stupid ass bitch.
Hurt. I was the one that was getting hurt. And I came here to say my truth. That's it, that's all. I don't want no clout. I don't want anything.
Fuck you.
All these troll pages, y'all don't know me. None of y'all know me at all.
We don't want to know you.
At the end of the day,
we don't want to know you.
And I was physically abused multiple times.
The discrepancies between her 911 call and her explanation would anger many people who would accuse her of swatting young Scooter, with rumors spreading that she had been mad at one of Scooter's friends who had gone to his birthday party.
Look at her. Don't she look like the type of bitch that'll lie like that though? Look at her name. Girl, like, oh, I can't stand these type of bitches, bro, because they still try to act like they so fucking innocent, bro. Like,
about her.
I recorded this like 4 times already, bro, because this makes me so mad. I'm trying to remain composed, all right? But this is just disgusting. This is Demi Blanco, aka girl la 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 on Instagram, right? 5 Las. So she is dating one of Young Scooter's homies. Now, we're not gonna say who her boyfriend is, bro, because honestly, bro ain't do nothing wrong, and I don't even want to involve bro in his nonsense. So she's dating one of Young Scooter's homie. Now, here's the thing. Young Scooter and his homie, they're supposed to have a kickback, a little party later that day for Young Scooter. It's his birthday. She wasn't invited, though. And because she wasn't invited, or because she couldn't come, this scallywag decided she was going to call the police and make a false report to get the event or party shut down preemptively before it even began, before that even pulled up. Imagine the type of witchcraft you have to be to call the police and make a report that flagrant at a house that your boyfriend is at. Knowing the history of Atlanta PD and private citizens, knowing how overzealous Atlanta PD is, at that point, making that call, you made the decision in your mind, you are content if Atlanta PD killed your boyfriend, as long as he ain't partying with no girls.
If these rumors are true, this woman is next level evil, because based on all the things that she was claiming that were happening in the house,
there was literally a shooting. There is literally a whole domestic dispute going on. These guys they're like selling drugs in and out of the house. All you see is guys coming in and out of the house with guns and stuff. They holding the guns in the air. I'm not sure if they're pimping. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl. And then they thought the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing illegal stuff over there. That's not, yes. And the girl is hurt because she was like bleeding profusely.
I can't believe this shit, bro.
Yeah, she's trying to get away and they're holding her. She's being held hostage. There's also a child in danger as well because she has a baby.
She must have known that there was a very high chance that people inside this house would get hurt. But the craziest thing is that we have no idea how many people she thought were actually in the house. After all, it was supposed to be Young Scooter's birthday, meaning that this lady might have been willing to get a whole house full of people hurt just to get back at her boyfriend. After the caller's identity would begin spreading online, it wouldn't take long for the Atlanta police to find and arrest her.
Look at her, bro. She just looked like the type to just do some weird, lame shit like that, bro. Like, we'll go ahead and end the video right here, though. Y'all hit that like button, that sub button, that hype button, man. I can't, bro. Like, this shit's crazy. Trail 247, though, you know.